Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive into this. Look, forget everything you think you know about AI just being a slightly faster search engine or, a clever chatbot. Because what we're looking at with Microsoft's 2026 roadmap, it isn't just some incremental software update. It's a complete, ground-up rewiring of how artificial intelligence actually interacts with us on a daily basis. For the past few years, we all know the AI conversation has been totally dominated by things like massive data centers, raw computing power, and this frantic arms race to build the biggest mathematical model, right? But Microsoft is pivoting hard here. They're moving towards something deeply personal. They are mapping out the rise of what they are calling Humanist Superintelligence. And to really get why this is so absolutely critical, we have to look past all the industry hype and examine the very specific blueprint they've just laid out. Because make no mistake, this roadmap is going to define the tools we use, how we work, and honestly, how we fundamentally think about our relationship with technology.
Listen closely to this core ethos. AI designed to serve people, not replace them. In a world where it feels like every other headline is warning us about mass automation, job losses, and frankly, human obsolescence, Microsoft is drawing a really deliberate, bold line in the sand right here. Notice that sharp contrast: to serve, not to replace. I mean, we've all felt that underlying anxiety, haven't we? That lingering worry that as machines get smarter and smarter, human value somehow just diminishes, like we're basically engineering our own replacements. But this stated mission completely flips that entire narrative on its head. It dictates that every single line of code, every neural network, and every user interface has to be engineered from scratch with one sole intention: elevating the human user. It's a massive, massive commitment. If the industry standard up until now has been building AI that can do things instead of you, this roadmap is entirely focused on building AI that does things for you and with you.
So the crucial point is grasping exactly what we mean when we throw around a term like humanist superintelligence. It kind of sounds like a bit of a paradox at first, doesn't it? When we hear superintelligence, our minds almost always jump straight to science fiction. Cold, calculating, autonomous machinery operating way beyond our control or even our comprehension. But this specific definition actively grounds all that immense power. Think of it less like an autonomous robot designed to take over a factory floor, and more like a cognitive exoskeleton designed to make you infinitely stronger. The superintelligence part, that provides the unprecedented, world-changing computing power. But the humanist part, that provides the essential purpose and direction. It firmly, explicitly places humanity at the absolute center of the technological equation. It's about taking the most advanced reasoning engines we've ever created and tethering them directly to human agency. You remain the pilot, the AI is simply the ultimate co-pilot, anticipating what you need and amplifying your natural abilities.
Let's move to and see how this builds out in reality, because a humanist mission statement is really just words on paper until you actually build the hard architecture to support it. Anybody can talk about a better future, but building the digital infrastructure to make that a reality? That is incredibly difficult, and that is exactly where the rubber met the road at Microsoft Build 2026. This is where Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman stepped out onto the stage to show us the actual code, the frameworks, and the hardcore infrastructure required to execute this insanely ambitious goal. Now, Suleyman has been at the very forefront of AI development for years, and his presence here, it's a massive signal of intent. He wasn't there to just give some theoretical pie-in-the-sky keynote. He was there to literally pull back the curtain on the exact tools that developers are going to use to weave this philosophy into the everyday fabric of our apps. And the execution of this monumental shift begins with a very specific foundational number: 7. Suleyman didn't just stand up there and announce some vague overarching concept for the future. No, he unveiled the very first 7 models explicitly engineered to build toward this humanist mission. Think of these as 7 distinct pillars holding up a brand new ecosystem of artificial intelligence. Each one is a highly specialized tool entirely ready to be deployed. The sheer scale of dropping 7 models simultaneously, it tells us that Microsoft isn't just dipping its toes in the water here. They are launching an entirely comprehensive suite designed to cover every possible angle of human-computer interaction. It builds this immense amount of anticipation. Like, what exactly do these foundational pillars do, and how on earth do they work together to create this superintelligence?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is we aren't just looking at a list of standard software tools. We are looking at a full-blown sensory and cognitive ecosystem. Notice the really deliberate split in how these models are engineered. You've got your standard models and you've got your flash models. And this distinction is absolutely key to understanding the whole roadmap. The flash models, we're talking MAI, Image 2.5 Flash, Voice 2 Flash, and Code 1 Flash. These are engineered for incredibly low latency, real-time reactions. They are built for instant human feedback. Imagine you're speaking to your device, or sketching out an idea, or writing a piece of software, and the AI is responding and adapting instantly, keeping up with your natural pace of thought without even a microsecond of delay. That's the Flash tier. But then you have the deeper, heavier cognitive engines. Look at MECE Thinking 1. This one isn't about quick answers. This is designed to process deep logic, complex reasoning, and multi-step problem solving. And running right alongside it is the highly specialized MECE Transcribe 1.5, which captures and structures auditory information with perfect precision. It's an incredibly comprehensive, multimodal suite. Vision, speech, transcription, deep reasoning, and high-speed coding. By separating out the fast, intuitive tasks from the deep, complex tasks, Microsoft has structurally aligned these models to act as the perfect real-time human co-pilot. It smoothly switches between acting quickly and thinking deeply, which, when you think about it, is exactly how a human brain works.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway from all of this. We've seen the expanse of philosophy, we've looked at the leadership driving it, and we've analyzed the precise, multimodal architecture of these 7 new models that are paving the way forward. But at the end of the day, the technology itself is only ever half of the equation. The other half, and actually the far more important half, is human application. A tool's true value is defined entirely by the hands that wield it. As this vast new AI architecture moves off the keynote stage of Microsoft Build 2026 and directly into our daily lives, into our workflows, our creative processes, and our homes, the fundamental question shifts from what the artificial intelligence can do to what you can do with it. So I'll leave you with this. With these 7 tools ready to go, how will Humanist Superintelligence serve you?